Tortoise, Hare, and the Sweet Potatoes. This is an African fable. Listen, brothers and sisters, to the story of how Tortoise outwitted Hare. Hare was born trickster. He was always dreaming up new riddles and tricks to try on others. He'd spring an impossible riddle, wait a little, then rattle off the answer. Riddles and tricks. Hare never tired of either. Tortoise, on the other hand, was much too busy keeping her little pond clean to worry about tricking anyone. Animals came from field and forest, far and near, to drink in the pond where she lived. Tortoise believed in the proverb, "Give the passing traveler water, and you will drink news yourself." So, although she rarely left her pool, her visitors kept her well informed. She knew more than most and was seldom fooled. It happened one season, then, that the news Tortoise heard again and again was disgracefully bad. Someone was stealing food from all the fields around. Now, most creatures were willing to give when another was hungry, but stealing was taboo. Everyone asked, who would do what's taboo? And no one knew. But Tortoise had a few well-founded ideas. One day, Hare came by Tortoise's pond. He drank his fill, then was ready for mischief. Aha! Now to muddy the pond and have a little fun, he thought. He never cared for the proverb, "Do not fill up the well after having drunk." Where would you drink tomorrow? Tortoise was on her guard, however, and all Hare could do was sit beside her and ask riddles. Tortoise answered every one. "I know you can't answer," said Hare. "Tell me the thing that you can beat without leaving a scar." "I live by it. I drink it," said Tortoise. "Water." So Hare gave up trying to catch Tortoise with riddles. But he was not through. After a while, he said, "Now, old Tortoise, let's go and till a field together." "Me? Till the land? I can just manage to scratch out my little garden patch. How could I hoe a whole field with my short legs?" "Short legs? Your legs are beautiful. Just the right length for hoeing." "Do say, but how could I hold a hoe?" "No problem at all. I'll tie you to it." "I'd love to do that for you." There was truth in that statement, Tortoise decided. Hare knew how to trick people all right, but she wasn't taken in. She said aloud, "I don't think I'll try. Thanks." So they sat in silence, and after a while, Hare said, "I'm hungry, sis. Aren't you?" "A little, but I don't have a leaf in my garden." "Well, poor thing, let me help you. I came upon a wide field of good things on my way here. Come on, let's help ourselves to some of Wild Boar's sweet potatoes." "Ooh, what are you saying? You know better than that, Mr. Hare. No pilfering." So they sat on in silence, Hare not willing to give up. And after a while, Tortoise became really hungry. Besides, she had a few worthwhile ideas. "Where did you say that field of sweet potatoes was?" she asked. "It's not far, just past the bush." "Well now," said Tortoise, seeming to overcome her scruples, "I guess Wild Boar won't miss a few." Off they went together, and when they came to Wild Boar's field, it was no job at all to root out the sweet potatoes. Soon Hare's sack was filled. Hare, with a great show of strength, steadied the bag on Tortoise's back, and they headed for the bush to cook the potatoes. When they found a good quiet spot, they gathered dry grass and made a crackling fire in which the sweet potatoes were soon roasted. Yum," said Tortoise as she bit into one. "Wait a minute," said Hare. "Did you hear that?" Yum," said Tortoise, her mouth full of sweet potato. "Stop munching and mumbling," said Hare. What if we're caught? Yum, yum, said Tortoise, reaching for another sweet potato. Wow, wow, said Hare. Do you want to be beaten and bitten by wild boar? Put down that potato. We've got to scout around first and make sure that boar's not after us. Hare forced Tortoise to stop eating, and they went off in opposite directions to scout the field. Tortoise, who had a good notion of what was afoot and was ready, waddled a few reluctant steps. Hare bounded out of sight. As soon as he was gone, Tortoise turned back, took another sweet potato, and crawled into the empty sack. Yum, she said. She was about to crawl out for another when suddenly a rain of roasted sweet potatoes fell around her. Hare was back, very quietly, very quickly. Good, said Tortoise, biting into another sweet potato. Saves me the trouble. Old trickster Hare filled his sack in a hurry. Mistress Tortoise, he shouted, get going, take off, run for your life. Wild boar and his big fat wife are coming. He threw the bag over his back. Save yourself, fly, he cried. But inside he thought, best trick in ages. Now to put some miles between me and Slowpoke. He took off, running and laughing as hard as he could. Tortoise made herself comfortable in the sack. She ate one sweet potato after another. Too bad Hare is missing the feast, she thought, but maybe he prefers running to eating. Hare ran as fast and as far as he could. By the time he stopped to rest, Tortoise had eaten all of the finest, fattest sweet potatoes. In fact, there was only one very small sweet potato left. Aha, good, said Hare as he put his hand into the sack. Too bad Tortoise is miles away. Sweet potatoes, Hare sang. Sweet potatoes, sweet potatoes. Tortoise put the last sweet potato into Hare's outstretched hand. When Hare saw the size of it, he cried, Ha! What a miserable one this is! I didn't run my head off for that! And he flung it into the bushes. Hare put his hand back into the sack. This time he felt a big one, a nice, firm, juicy one. Woohoo! He chortled. Here's a beauty. What a prize! Imagine Hare's surprise when he saw what he had in his hand. Mistress Tortoise, he cried as he dropped her to the ground. Hare shook out the sack. Tears of unbelief welled up in his eyes when he saw it empty. My potatoes, the sweet ones I rooted up. Oh no. You didn't eat mine, too, Sister Tortoise. How could you be so unfair? But Mistress Tortoise didn't stand around for the lecture. She took her toes and scuttled away to her pond as fast as she could go. Hungry Hare lay on the ground and screeched, Whoa, whoa, that wily Miss Tortoise ate all my sweet potatoes. Wow, wow, how awful of her. When I think I carried her all the while, I could cry. And that's just what he did.